An Iranian journalist has gone on trial behind closed doors on charges linked to her coverage of the funeral of a Kurdish Iranian woman whose death in custody last year triggered months of unrest. The death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini while in the custody of the morality police for allegedly violating Iran's Islamic dress code unleashed a wave of mass protests across the country for months, making the biggest challenge to Iran's clerical leaders in decades. Elaheh Mohammadi, a reporter for the pro-reform Hami newspaper who was on trial on Monday in Tehran, and another journalist, Niloufar Hamidi of the Sharq newspaper, have been accused of colluding with hostile powers for the coverage of Amini's death. The charge potentially carries the death penalty under Iranian law. Iran's intelligence ministry released a joint statement in October accusing Mohammadi and Hamidi of being CIA foreign agents. North Korea will launch its first military reconnaissance satellite in June for monitoring movements from the United States, Pyongyang state-run news agency KCNA reported. Ri Pyong-chol, vice chairman of North Korea's Central Military Commission, said that space-based monitoring was needed to fend off Washington's reckless military exercises with South Korea. The statement comes a day after North Korea told Japan's Coast Guard of its launch intentions and that it would occur sometime between May 31 and June 11, adding the maneuver might affect waters in the Yellow Sea, East China Sea and east of the Philippines' Luzon Island. Tokyo's defense minister warned its forces to shoot down the satellite or debris, if any, enter Japanese territory, where its Coast Guard issued a safety warning for vessels. US and South Korea forces have carried out several joint missions in recent months, including the biggest ever live-fired exercises earlier this month. China launched its Shenzhou 16 spacecraft crewed by 3 astronauts on Tuesday, the China Manned Space Agency said in a statement, declaring the launch a complete success. The agency said the Long March 2F rocket carrying the spaceship took off from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in the Gobi Desert shortly after 9:30 a.m. local time. The spacecraft is heading to China's space station and will relieve the crew of Shenzhou 15 who have been living there since November. The Shenzhou 16 crew will conduct scientific experiments and maintenance on space station equipment, said CMSA. Tuesday's launch marks China's 5th crewed mission to its space station since it first sent astronauts in 2021. In recent years, China has ramped up its efforts in space exploration and research. A CMSA official said that China aims to launch a crewed mission to the moon by 2030, according to state media. A rare drone attack jolted Moscow earlier today, causing only light damage but forcing evacuations as residential buildings were struck in the Russian capital for the first time in the war against Ukraine. The Kremlin meanwhile pursued its relentless bombardment of Kyiv with a third assault on the city in 24 hours. The Russian Defense Ministry said that 5 drones were shot in Moscow and the systems of 3 others were jammed, causing them to veer off course. It called the incident a terrorist attack by the Kyiv regime. The attack, causing only what Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin called insignificant damage to several buildings, brought the war home to civilians in Russia's capital. 2 people received treatment for unspecified injuries but did not need hospitalization, he said in a Telegram post, adding that residents of 2 high-rise buildings damaged in the attack were evacuated. Andriy Vorobyov, governor of the wider Moscow region, said that some of the drones were shot down on the approach to Moscow. Ukraine made no direct comment on the attack, which would be one of its deepest and most daring strikes into Russia since the Kremlin launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine more than 15 months ago.